Randy Savage, and I'm forgetting somebody.
I'm forgetting too. I don't know why we are. I mean, Macho Man was the most important one.
Yeah, there was somebody before him in Alundra.
Wow, sorry.
Oh, the Bushwhackers.
Bushwhackers, which in my mind, as much as the Bushwhackers were entertaining, I was very disappointed that the WWE put in a tag team like that when they could have put in a tag team like the Dudleys if they had come to terms with Devon, put in a tag team like the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian. I feel like tag teams that really revitalized the tag team division deserve to be in the Hall of Fame before a goofy, gimmicky tag team.
They got put in the Hall of Fame because of simply what they did before they got to the WWE when they were the Sheep Herders.
Yeah.
Multiple times tag team champions. They right there. They rank up there as high as Hall of Fame as Coco Beware, in my opinion, which we all know how I stand on.
Exactly.
On Coco Beware every time his name comes up.
And as soon as it came out that the Bushwhackers were inducted, myself, I know Kev, we just spit out names of at least 5 different people.
Them. I liked the Bushwhackers. They were entertaining. It was different.
I was a kid when they were big on TV. You know? They were different. They were fun. I liked them as a kid.
Head, and, it was great.
But are they
the worst finishing move ever? The battering ram.
Yeah.
That was.
But are they Hall of Fame worthy? No. And we're not going to argue because the WWE puts in who they want to put in.
This is why I think the WWE itself just needs to change the name of the Hall of Fame. Don't call it the WWE Hall of Fame. Just call it the Wrestling
Hall of Fame. Exactly.
Now, if you want to induct them just as the generalization of them and their careers in the wrestling business, then by all means, absolutely.
Because
but if you're going to call it a WWE Hall of Fame, where you're basing it basically off their WWE and most recently WCW, ECW careers, then no.
Yeah. If you can put in WCW wrestlers, ECW wrestlers, because WWE technically owns both companies. So if you're putting in Sting next year or whenever he goes in, you know that's going to happen, that's fine. But guys who just didn't have... It would, in my mind, it's like putting in freaking Disco Inferno and Alex Wright. Guys that I did enjoy in their WCW careers, but guys who have no business in a Hall of Fame
at all. Good prelude into next week. We will be reviewing round 2 of the Jobbers Tournament.
Yes. Speaking of Jobbers.
We're going to get a little call, apparently a little early from Mr. Rob Banner. So we'd like to welcome to the show the superstars of wrestling's Unbreakable one, Rob Fury. Welcome back to the show, Rob.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good, but apparently not as good as you.
Doing all right.
But other than that, before we get into everything, I just want to tell the fans out there, if you have not checked out a Superstars of Wrestling show, you're missing out. You need to, go to their Facebook page and check out where they're going to be coming to a town near you. It's family friendly. They bring out some great superstars from the past, and they show you and showcase what the best of New Jersey has to offer. They put on a great show. I like to complain sometimes that their show is way too long, but Rob will tell you, you get your money's worth.
Thank you.
But they got a great roster. They're bringing guys from all over New Jersey. They have a great roster of their own. Guys like Magic. Who doesn't love Magic? The guy's awesome. You got the Candyman. Somehow the guy always seems to find me walking around and hits me with a bag of M&Ms. I don't know. I have a big target in my back. But guys like Low Life Louie and Steve Monster Mac. All these guys that you've had wrestle for you in the past, and you just, it's good to see you headed in the right direction, and it's kudos to you and your team for resurrecting the name and doing the right things in the wrestling business, and just continuing to put on great shows despite the negative that surrounds you and the negative aura that surrounds independent wrestling in general, which we've had multiple promoters come on the show and talk about it. So now it's your turn. We're going to put you on the hot seat, and we're going to play a little clip. I played this for you already, so for the fans are going to hear this. It's a 1 minute and 1 minute and 1 second clip, and when we come back, we're going to get the opinion of Rob Fury about this. So sit tight, and we'll put that on right now.
Independents can get along, okay? Not everybody can get along. And the reason why...
Too many egos?
I'll get into this now in depth. One, every owner has a different philosophy. Somebody might like hardcore. Somebody might like women. Somebody might like not doing that and doing family entertainment. Some people just want to be alone. We all share the same talent pool. Unfortunately, there's 10 or 12 guys that are on pretty much every show from here to Maine and back. So everybody books the same guys differently. This past weekend, I had an altercation with a promoter. I'm not even going to put the name of the company out there because it's not even worth wasting my time. You make agreements get broken, feelings get hurt, people get punched in the mouth. Okay? Independent wrestling is a bunch of small franchises. It's McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, White Castle, and Sonic, all running on the same 50 feet. Okay? We all step on each other's toes. It doesn't work because of egos.
Okay, so we heard Ricky O from Jersey Championship Wrestling say that independent wrestling promoters can't get along because everybody steps on each other's toes, and it happened between you and him, and things happen, and supposedly somebody got punched in the face. You want to elaborate on that?
Nobody got punched in the face. I mean, that's absurd. But Ricky's a passionate guy about what he does, and JCW, and I have a lot of friends over there that work there, and they put on really quality events. But to touch on that, I mean, when I think about other aspects of what was said, I mean, he has a valid point. When you do have the same 15 guys pretty much on every show in New Jersey, and it's everybody's used differently, and every promoter or booker has a different idea or opinion of how they're going to use talent, and at times I think agreements can be broken. At times maybe promoters can't get along. I think it's I mean, at the end of the day, it's pretty much the way I look at it is if you have a franchise that you own, and if there's another franchise out there, you're always going to be competing to put on a good product. I think competition is good. I think competition makes things better. Mm-hmm. And I think that all in all, at the end of the day, the answer to the question is no, nobody was punched in the face. That's not accurate. And unfortunately, people will have their opinions of me in the wrestling business, and they'll have opinions of Ricky, they'll have opinions of JCW or Superstars of Wrestling or every different brand. But at the end of the day, what matters is putting on quality shows for the fans to keep independent pro wrestling alive. So competition is good. I mean, that's all I really got to say about it.
I agree with you there, and I've said this in the past that I don't understand the pettiness of what goes on, and allow the live and let live attitude should be thought about throughout the independent business. If you're putting on a show in let's say Town A, and you put on a hell of a show, and the fans that live in Town A really enjoyed it. Now, another wrestling business comes in, wants to put on a show at Town A. That only helps them, because now every single wrestling fan that's in Town A that got to see your show that enjoyed it automatically has this positive outlook of this other company coming in on what they're going to do. But when all the negative happens, it just ruins it for everybody.
I agree with you. Like, I am a firm believer in having enough faith in what you put out there to, encourage another organization to come out there. If I'm in, let's say, Athol, New Jersey, mm-hmm. like we are on April 10th, and, another company decides to come into Woodbridge, New Jersey, which is, 8 miles away, and put a show on, I'd encourage that. I mean, look, it's only going to make me better at what we're trying to put out.
Right.
It's only going to make the business better. I don't think running a show on the same night 8 miles apart is smart. But if someone was there a month before or 2 weeks after me or even the day after me, I really don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. I could curse, right? I'd be upset or anything.
You're good. It's fine. We already put the warning out.
Oh, I don't give a fuck what really anybody else does. I can't sit around and worry about what any other organization does. I got to worry about what Superstars of Wrestling is doing. If I have my eye on everybody's calendar, what everybody's doing, it doesn't fucking matter to me. They could go out and run 75 shows a year. I'll run 13 to 15. We're going to try to give the people 13 to 15 quality shows they want to come back to and they want to really sink their teeth into. And to touch on something else, I said I was going to talk about a new creative direction that Superstars of Wrestling is going in.
Right.
I wanted to, really do that here because I know you have a lot of listeners, and I know at one time I was one of the highest rated programs you ever had. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. You do see 10 to 15 guys out there on a lot of the shows.
Right.
So it's like I let my roster know. Superstars of Wrestling from this point is using a rotating roster. You're going to be seeing new talent from different parts of different states coming into Superstars of Wrestling. Some new independent talent, some new faces, guys that are hungry, guys who want to get out there and bust their fucking ass for the crowd, and guys who want to leave it all out there. I'm very pleased with the roster we have now, and I think the new group of guys is a lot of fun, and I haven't had fun in a long time, and we're having fun again. And but it's time to shake things up. And it's like I said recently, if every toy store is selling the same toys, it's fucking boring. You want to get out there with something different.
Right.
It's like sex stores, brother. If you go to a sex store and you see the same fucking sex toy, are you going to want to go to that sex store? No, you're going to want something new and different, like my friend Tommy the Moose does. So you don't see a little rip there. Inside, at the end of the day, got to be different. We got to be smart, and that's the plan.
Well, I from what I've seen online, Tommy the Moose's selection of sex toys usually comes from the produce aisle of the supermarket. So
he does indulge in very large cucumbers and different green vegetables. But it is what it is. He's a good dude, man. Tommy's been with us. He was the original co-owner of this company. A lot of people don't know that. We started in 2012. Tommy was the co-owner of this company, and what he hated promoting, he wanted to go back to being just a worker. And he's a great worker. And, it's good to have him. But, yeah, he does like to play with vegetables, no doubt about it.
I have a question regarding Tommy the Moose. How come every time he's billed for a card, he seems to gain 15 pounds every show?
He said the same thing. And right now he's, it's just a rib. But it's because he's fatter than ever. And he doesn't want to admit it. But if you would look at him, and if you would ask him, he would tell you he's built like Road Warrior Hawk, God rest his soul. In his mind, he's 6'7", 275 pounds, 7% body fat. But we all know he's about 5'6", 325, 330, could be 445. But he's in the gym training. I'm gonna get the people.
I only laugh because I'm in the same boat. So the gravy boat. Us big guys got to stick together,
And I heard you guys talking about Coco Beware before. I was listening in, and
yes, my favorite Hall of Famer.
Listen, man. I booked Coco Beware a year ago for 2 shows, and other people that had used him in bigger organizations than mine told me, "Listen, man, it's not a smart move." So I booked Coco Beware to headline with Rhino and a bunch of other guys from Spotswood, New Jersey, the Rising show last February. We sold out the building.
I was there.
Coco Beware comes in. I could have went. And I'm going to say this straight up. I could have went to where I used to live in Canarsie, and I could have walked to a diner called the Arch Diner, and I could have went to the back of the diner and found a fat black man, gave him a bird, a gimmick, and had him come out to that song, because I never wasted more money in my life than on a human being that decided to pull his asshole out in front of the entire crowd, and really didn't want to get out there, and pretty much mailed it in. So I had to eat with Coco Beware. I just wanted to touch on it.
Whatever you want to touch on.
Oh, he did it. He's just family friendly. Here comes Coco Beware's asshole live in front of the whole crowd.
Yeah, he's I've heard a lot of stories about him. I've read a lot of stories about him. It's sad to see some of these guys go down that road. We make fun of Virgil all the time.